Hi, we're Donna Linda Hamilton with Impact with Donna and Linda and Line in the Sand workshops.
Hello.
Um, we have gotten some questions and we want to share them with you. They're around boundaries, and a lot of people are a little bit afraid to set boundaries. They don't quite know what to say, or the reaction or the response that they're going to get, and become a little bit fearful, I think, around being afraid to set a boundary because they don't know what's going to happen. And so, one of the questions we got, and several times actually, that I feel so mean. I just feel so mean when I set a boundary or when I set limits on somebody, and I feel so bad, and my boundaries might upset or hurt someone, and I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm just I need to be loving and caring all the time, and probably just go ahead and do it. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So how can I set limits and still be a loving person?
Yeah, that that's a big one because we sometimes grow up understanding that love is doing stuff for people, and that it's and granted that's not a bad way to show your love for someone by doing something for them, but sometimes it gets convoluted and gets mixed up, and so sometimes, especially if you're the caretaker, you end up having to take care of things all the time, and the expectation then becomes in the relationship, if you don't do this for me, then you don't love me,
Yeah,
and they're not the same thing.
yeah,
You know, so yes, the answer is you can set boundaries and be a loving person.
yeah,
The thing is, it's really important, I believe, to talk about it at times when you're not in the heat of battle,
yeah,
when you're not, having a huge argument about something, but rather at times of peace and solitude when you're together with this person you have a relationship with, to be able to talk with them and talk openly about what some of those things are that where your boundaries are and where they continually get crossed, because you need to have those conversations at a time when it's not a big battle, because then the emotions get wrapped up in it,
and people get hurt.
people get hurt, and that's not the intent. The intent is to set a loving, strong boundary that both of you can relate to and both of you can respect.
Yeah, and to heal the resentment or whatever is being felt. There's a lot of times when I would rather, in my boundary lessons and learning early in life, was I would rather hurt. I hurt all the time so that I could please everybody. It would just hurt me, and I would keep my mouth shut. And that doesn't work either, because if you're afraid to hurt everybody, you're hurting yourself in that process. So it needs to be dealt with in a conversation where sometimes what you say to someone will hurt them. It will make their feelings hurt for a little while, or it might cause a little riff or a little pouting or silent treatment for a while, and then you can deal with that, and kind of overcome that silent treatment or whatever the riff is. But it's sometimes a blow to set a boundary and a limit. It's a blow to someone, and because it shocks them. It kind of shakes them
Yeah,
to the
because
core that
you've never done it before.
You're standing up for yourself.
Yeah.
And I've had people look at me and go, "What? You said no? You set a limit on me? Oh, okay." And then you never know. You can't control their response or their reaction. So.
No, but you can control how you respond to it, of course. And so, I think it would be a good exercise would be for you to kind of you know, get off by yourself for, you know, an hour or so, sit down and kind of list some of the things where,
And the people that are attached.
yeah, and the people that are attached to it, some of those things where you really want to set a boundary about something,
Mm-hmm.
but,
Yeah.
and maybe write down how you would do that.
Yep.
And certainly, you know, if you subscribe to our channel here, we're going to continue to talk about these things and talk in more detail, but you can also drop comments in here,
Yeah.
and, you know, if you have any questions about it,
Or email us
or email us. Yeah.
at impactwithdawnandlinda@gmail.com.
But it's really important to kind of take time out, some quiet time to be able to do that. And I know it's hard in life today, is so busy and, you know, so much going on, but
But if
it's
you don't,
so important to do that for yourself, because you're not only doing it for yourself, you're doing it for the relationship, that other person in the relationship.
yeah,
So do that. Identify how you might say that in a way that's not threatening, in a way that's loving, in a way that describes what you're really after, what you need to have a healthy relationship with them, because that's what it's all about. You're trying to have a relationship with them, and if you don't solve those things, then that relationship is held back. It's
Yes.
not as fulfilling as it can be. You know, do expect you might get some, you know, some pushback on that, or, you know, why are you doing that? You've never done that before. It's like, you know, and you might think about how you would be prepared to answer that as well.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
yeah, definitely. I think it's time, you know, and I think everyone knows that it's time, and the relationship is dear and near and precious, and you don't want to just walk away from your relationships all the time. We do see that too, that if something goes wrong in the relationship and you're afraid to confront something in a loving way, then you just kind of disconnect and gone. And I've had people do that with me, and I can't get them to answer the phone. I can't get them to, you know, respond or deal with it. And so that doesn't help, you know, keep the relationship or grow the relationship.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the holy ground that, you know, we walk on kind of eggshells, and we kind of have to say, okay, I got to do this. It's just got to be done.
yeah. So work on that, and we will be back to visit you here in the near future. Again, subscribe to our channel, and
Ring the doorbell.
Ring the bell. Whatever that, I never know.
Ring
what
the bell.
Yeah, ring the bell, and
You'll get notifications
yeah.
every time we put a video out.
Yep. So thanks for stopping by.
And put your answer or your questions in the comments.
Yep.
Because we like to know what you want to know and what you want to talk about.
So bye for
Thanks.
now.
Thanks for coming.